Man, what's the deal? No time to chill. It's about to get real on Keep It Real Thursdays. Peep. So I want to ask you a question. But before I ask you that, man, hit that like button, subscribe. The team and I appreciate it. So check this out. I want to ask you a question. How serious do you take life? Like, ask yourself that question real quick. Like, how serious do I take life? Like, just think about that real quick. So the reason why I ask you that is because I had to come down here for a conference, for a leadership conference, and there was some pre-work that I had to do that I didn't do. So I'm feeling all good, man. I done got off the plane. I'm in the rental car, like I'm headed to the class. In class, I'm talking about I'm in the second row, feeling good. About 2-3 hours into the conference, they like, raise your hand if you haven't completed the. But Pete though, I raised my hand, gives me a 100, but I'm thinking in my mind like, yo, am I the only one who didn't do it? So it was like 3 of us that didn't do it. So I'm like, all right, cool. And then she ended up saying like, you know what, that's fine, don't worry about it. When we have lunch, I'm just gonna give you some extra time to complete it during lunch and then you can just finish it when you get home. So I get back to the hotel and I'm feeling good. I'm like, yep, I got another chance. I forgot to do this work, but now I can complete it at the hotel. So I'm talking about, I'm blowing through it. I blew through it at lunch. I'm at the hotel just going crazy. The next day, I get to day 2 of the conference, and I'm just like, I finished, right? They ain't said a word. I'm like, hold on. I did all that work for nothing? I finished, right? Y'all, you told me to finish it. I finished. I finished midsection sex. I ain't really say that, but I'm just saying like, yo, I finished the work. Ain't nobody say a word to me. Ain't nobody give me no pat on the back. Like, I want to ask you again, how serious do you take life? And I realized something. I'm like, yo, you know what? That little course or whatever that was for me. Like, that wasn't for her. That wasn't for nobody in the room. That was for me. When I completed that was for me. So there are some things in your life that are for you. I'm talking about just little stuff that somebody might ask you to do. If you forget to do it, that's on you. You feel me? You wanna know what's crazy? I don't know if you ever got a ticket before, but when you get a ticket, the police officer comes back to the car, he can give you the ticket. I'm talking about he ain't all in the window, you better pay this ticket. You better pay it or we're gonna be after you. No, they not about to do that, but have a nice day, sir. Have a nice day, ma'am. You feel me? They about to just hand you what they gonna hand you. And you know what's up, when you don't pay that, they either gonna issue that, issue out a warrant, or they gonna send you that mail in the bill saying, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am, did you forget to pay something? Or we about to get suspend your license. No, sir, you forgot to pay your ticket. They not about to do all that, bro. They on your head. And so I need to ask you again, how serious do you take life? Because why you always gotta wait on somebody to ask you to do something? Like, when are you gonna take the initiative and do it yourself? You know what else is crazy? I realized in my life, like little kids, when a little kid asks you is you gonna do something, you tell them yeah you gonna do it and don't do it. That's gonna hurt that little kid. I done had plenty of people tell me when I was a kid, yo man, we gonna help you get your car, we gonna help you get this and that. And here's the deal. I'm glad that all those people told me those things because I ended up being, successful in life. So in my world, I ended up being successful. But I'm just saying, it's some people out here who you made some promises to. You feel me? Your wife, your spouse, your brother. Like, how are you cultivating your relationships? By lying, by saying you gonna do this and you gonna do that. Like, people not playing. This is a real world that we live in, and I realized through that little course that I didn't do, that I ended up finishing. Nobody patted me on the back. Nobody came up to me and said, hey, did you finish that course that we told you about yesterday? Did you finish it, sir? Ain't nobody asked me nothing. And it tripped me out because I'm like, yo, that's really how life is. Ain't nobody gonna ask you or come behind you and ask you if you finish something. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna ask you nothing. It's just either you did it or you didn't. Either you go to work or you didn't go to work. Either you gonna pay the bill or you not gonna pay the bill. If you pay the bill, it's gonna be paid. But if you don't pay the bill, there go them lights. Ain't nobody playing. And I'm not gonna say it took me years to figure that out. But I don't know, it was just something about this time where this was a course that I needed to finish. It was only like 34 modules or something like that. And I needed to finish. It was important to the class. And nobody asked me. And nobody's not gonna check up on you. So I need you to understand that whatever you put into life is what you're gonna get back. Has nothing to do with nobody else. Your kids, you tell your kids you're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and you don't do it, your kids gonna grow up and be a certain type of way. That's not on your kids, that's on you. When you end up getting fired from your job, that's on you. That's because of the work that you didn't put in. When your spouse leave you, when your husband, when your wife, that's because of the work that you didn't put in. When you don't have that relationship with your father, because you blaming him for what he did back in the day, that's on you. How serious do you take life? Hey, listen, man, I don't have all my stuff in order, man, but I'm just realizing, like, through little stuff like this, that life is not a game. I'm telling you, I could just be preaching to the choir right now. I do not have all my stuff together. That's just what is it? What am I saying? A disclaimer. Just giving a disclaimer. I do not have all of my stuff together. But what I try to do is, my goal is to keep it real, and I'm trying to spread a message of the experiences that I've learned and that I experienced, and I'm trying to share it with you or whoever is watching and go, yo, don't miss out on this. Like, don't miss out on them small opportunities. And I think that's what I maximize on. I maximize on the small opportunities. I maximize on somebody tell me go home and complete a course, and then I come back the next day and they don't ask me about it. I'm like, oh, they ain't asked me about it. That was on me. I did it, but that was on me. And here's the deal, it wasn't even a waste because I still did it. I took that serious. So I need to ask you a question. How serious do you take life? And we have now reached my favorite part of the segment. Once you figure out how serious you take life, and once you start taking it serious, once you start completing stuff, and then when somebody don't ask you, you still good with that, you still completed it. Hold on. And then you can pass go and collect your 200. Peace.